Okay, the architecture of creativity. This session, we are building out a portion of our two products that are coming along slowly but surely. And so I want to kind of demonstrate some of the things that we do without giving away the secret sauce, right? So, um, let me share my screen, and I've kind of set things up already. Um, did some pre-work, as to say, and you can see this is the current build as it is on the Cube Engineered Solutions website. So we have a framework where we're rebuilding the website along with building product at the same time. Product for internal use as well as product for external use, right? And where did this framework come from? Well, it came from the website that is currently online. Both are online, but one is still being built out with products that are being used as they're built for internal and external use, right? And so today, both of the builds, whether it's the game, Stratellurian, or our Cube Engineered Solutions website, both of them have services and products that are in common. And so that common thread is what we're going to draw on in today's build. So in the pull down, the Cube Store pull down, if you did not know that, those are all of our CALM products. So we have CALM Workflow, CALM 10 Core, CALM Admin, which includes project control, quality control, budget control, and schedule control. Then we have CALM Environments, CALM Development, CALM Design, CALM Construction, CALM Facilities, CALM Technology, and CALM Artificial Intelligence, right? And so today we're going to work on CALM Development. And this will work in alignment with Tellurian, which is our real estate development runner, right? So the same framework that we are utilizing to build out Stratellurian, which is a detailed document, is the same service and product that we use to oversee and step through real estate development projects when we're doing construction management, program management, project management, um, and development activities of our own, right? So, um, and so in the new build, we have that same calm development button, but when we click it, there's nothing, right? So we come over here and we click this one and we get this slide SharePoint, and you can kind of go through here. You got planning, you got pre-development, you have pre-construction, development, construction, and then facilities, and then back to the overall approach slide, right? And so we want to have in our new website, which has a different feature for those types of things. If we go up to our Calm Core, if I click operations, you see you have these side panels with all the information on it, and then you can click on here um, we have to activate those, but you'll click on here and get information um, on those particular items, right? So we want that same thing, that same feature for calm development here. And so we went to Claude and we said, hey, we're ready to build out calm development on the Cube Engineered Solutions website. We want to create a panel. This is the document we want you to use to outline all the phases for that. Create a prompt. So it created a prompt. It forgot. Now that's the funny thing is that usually I will forget. It's been a while since our last build. So I have to go through our conversation with Claude to see where we left off. And usually I can do a screenshot and I could say, this is where we are. Update me on all the items that we discussed that isn't present in this build right now, and it will update me on um, what I need to do next. But this time I realized there's some items that I want to put on the back burner, so I just told Claude exactly what I wanted to do instead of getting those updates, right? And so um, because it didn't get the update, it wanted to create a new button under, I think, our 10 core boundaries, under our boundaries. Because if we click on here, we have calm environments, we have calm construction. They wanted to put calm development into here and then um, build out from that. Um, so within that conversation, I said, no, correct that. I don't want to do that. I want to come down to the calm platform, calm development button. Let's build that out. And so it corrected the prompt. And now I'm going to go to Lovable, uh, open this sidebar, and I'm going to paste the prompt into here. Okay, so okay. So I've copied my prompt from Claude and I'm going to paste it here. And then I'm going to let Lovable do the work. And let's see the output. It's still working. Still working. Well, that's working. We'll come back to that. Uh, but wanted to come here and discuss the different phases. Okay, yeah, we can pull that up. All right, great. Because eventually these items may or may not. It just depends. You will see some of these items in the game, Stratellurian, where it's asking you different choices about site selection, and seller negotiations. It's asking you about feasibility studies. It's going through and asking you different things about whether your capital stack and whether your land loan gets rejected, what to do, and those types of things. And so um, it's pulling that information from the document we've created in terms of the document we have created for our development process, right? And so some of those things will pop up in the game. We're modifying. The game needed some modifications. It has some things that need to be corrected. And so we're going to try to do that in this build demonstration so that you can kind of see the difference. If you have been playing it and you're like, it needs some work. Yeah, we know. Um, and so we're working on it. But these types of documents, we have even more detail within each one of the phases, helps us to manage projects with precision. All right, so let's check on our build and see how it's doing. All right. All right. Lovable has indicated that it has added the panel. So let's take a look and see what it looks like. All right, there it is. So now we have our calm development panel. It has phase 1, right? It has phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6. And it's outlined it in a very colorful fashion, and it's legible. And it looks like that will work. That will work for us. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. And take another look at that. Okay. Let's take that's the preview. So it looks good. So we're going to go ahead and publish, update it. All right. And so once we update it here, and it accepts it, then we have it embedded within the Cube Engineering Solutions website on the artificial intelligence products page, right? So we have some products here, and one of them is Cube Engineering Solutions, the website, right? So you can see even on the existing website, we have what we're building here. And as you go through the Calm platform, here you can see it's just arrow, 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 arrow. Then when we get here, there's a finger, which means it's clickable, right? So that's updating, has been up to date. Okay, it says up to date. So as we make changes here, it will be up to date at the temporary website link. which is the Cube Engineer Solutions Lovable app. And then on our existing website under CALM, Artificial Intelligence. So now we can click, and this is embedded into the website. So I can click on this here, and it's gonna just open within that window, right? Just to demonstrate what a product looks like, right? But if you want to actually see the new website, you have to go to Cube Engineer Solutions Lovable app, and you can access that. If we go back to home at the existing Cube Engineered Solutions website, Cube products all have links as we're building them because we have to get to them to the show to other folks. So CubeCom, AI management, our Smart Biz Facts, Core 8 Asset Ledger um, is the actual link that's here, right? And so that shows, it has a lot of extra stuff on there, but um, that shows that you can see the build at that temporary website um, link. And click here, and you can see the side panel. That over there with all the colorful the phases with different colors, different links. It's legible. Looks good. All right. Didn't do much there, but it, it's helpful. All right, so now let's go to Stratellurian in that same subject matter. Real estate development runner. Let me tap inside here. And you got your overpowering music. You can go up here, turn that off. It's still playing, but we have a button in the right-hand corner. You can put that on silent. Now, some of the things that we need to change or what we need to update on here. Is the obstacles. We're going to change some items. We'll have the obstacles, the size of them, as well as the scoring when it comes to the budgets and the days. And then there's the repetitive cards is the most annoying part about the game is that there's some repetitive questions. It's, you know, you are supposed to make a choice on one of these, and then it's asking you maybe the same question. There it is, over and over again. So we're gonna, and then um, the point system needs to be associated with the budget and the days. How many days in a project? Every project has a budget. Every project has a schedule, a number of days to completion, to actually chart through those 6 phases, right? And so right in alignment with our real estate development process, the game follows that reasoning as well, right? And so we're going to make some updates on this that you can kind of see in real time. Okay, so for the Stratellurian game, right? Its setup is a little bit different. The product development is being done in Cursor. And so the Cursor platform is not by browser, it's actually pulled up by the desktop. So this is the Cursor app. This is our progress so far on Stratellurian, the HTML file to which you see and able to access in the browser from your browser. So we've prepared our prompts in Claude and kind of copied them over to a text format. And what we're trying to correct is the questions. When a real estate runner is overseeing a project and have to make decisions, they usually don't have to make the same decision over and over and over again, like 4 times in a row. So in our game, that was happening. It's annoying because you can't get to the next phase until it accepts what you have decided. So we've created a prompt to correct that. And so we're going to paste that prompt here. Uh-oh. That's not the prompt. Okay. There we go. There's a prompt. Okay. So this is our prompt. Try to correct that. We're going to feed that into Cursor and watch it work it through. Once it works that through, you'll see the lines of code change. We were at line 822 when it adds or makes some changes. We should see an increase. And once we see our increase, then we'll test the game to see how all that, how the code, the change in the code actually looks on the front end user interface. And what you see on the front end. Okay, so it's working. It's working. It's reading Stratellurian HTML, is going through how the events and collisions are interacting so that it can correct it. So it may correct some of the lines within the code, and then it may add some at the end or as it's changing. Our line count may change. And unlike the browser, there you go, use of Lovable, I can't flip back and forth. So we'll just have to stay here and watch it work. There it is. The code is starting to increase and change. Okay, so it's completed its task. Okay, so we made that change and I pulled the HTML file from off of the desktop to test it because our user enter the game is on Netlify so that you're able to play it. And we have to update that app with the new HTML file. But before we do that, we need to test it and see if it works. All right, so let's go back out. Let's refresh. It's the front. It's happening. Okay, turn that off. Right, and then so negotiation stalls. Hold firm. Feasibility study. I'm going to commission a deeper study. Okay. Reduce project scope. I'm going to commission redesign. I'm going to give it with the GC list. Okay. So project got stalled at this certain distance. Okay. So distance, budget, and schedule. There's a mismatch there, so we'll have to fix that. But here you can see the arrows. Capital stack shows a funding gap. Schematic design is rejected by investment committee. GC bids come in 15% over budget. So those three items, that's why the project is stalled. Okay. And so we press restart, change our mind. It's a combination, different combination of things. All right, so now the project stalled on here. Schematic design is rejected by investment committee. GC bids come in 15% over budget. Construction lender pauses term sheet over the underwriting. All right, so three items that you can't work through will stall the project. Okay, and so it's calculating distance, but I really wanted to calculate budget and days, which here we see is day 56 of 90, right? And so we need these kind of to work together. So those will be coming in the future updates as we work through the game and the decision making, right? So, okay, but the glitch of having to be asked the same questions within that phase over and over again without going to the next phase. We fixed that. Now we can see that where we're actually getting stalled at, where the project is being stalled at, um, much clearer than we did previously. So that change worked. So let's make another change um, that you can visibly see. Okay, so that worked well. So we're back in Cursor on the app in the desktop. And the next change that we're going to make is that the game is called the real estate runner. So we want them to keep moving. We want it to be constant. We want to see some movement. We want more movement um, within the game. The obstacles are moving. The runner has the option to jump, duck, and do those items. And with activity, you gain points, you gain days. Well, I guess you gain budget or you gain days to your schedule, money to your budget, right? So if you jump over an obstacle or duck an obstacle, then you get um, money added to your budget or scheduled to your days, right? And so we do have a rule book that we compose based upon all the prompts and discussions that we've had with Claude. And so just want to make sure that functionality is actually in the game because we do have a prompt log, and some of those prompts just haven't been implemented into Cursor as of yet because we can create prompts faster than we could build it out within Cursor. So I'm saying that, and at the same time, I'm saying, did I actually prompt that? So I'll have to test it in the game when we look at that again. All right, so this feature has something to do with the runner, making sure there's movement between the runner and the obstacles, right? Either by way of you pressing the space bar or pressing a key, one of the keys to cause the runner to move, but then visually, um, we want it to visually look like the runner is moving. So this prompt is attempting to do that. All right. So here's our prompt created in Claude. And we're going to input that into Cursor. Okay, it's thinking. It's reading how scrolling obstacles and the event pause are interacting within the game so that it can implement the reduced speed, scrolling, frozen obstacles, and the idle sway so that it can coordinate what's happening already, what has already been built into the game, because even if I don't remember, it does. And then adding this feature to that so that it's all coordinated, right? So I can appreciate that, but that will take a little time. So it's working through that. Now the game is geared for all ages, right? All ages can play the game in this computer literate, technology literate generation, uh, young and old, can actually use the game to learn about the real estate development process. Okay, so it has set up some rules. And we'll get back to that, but it's finished with building it out. Okay, and so now we're back at the browser to see the updated version of our cursor build, right? So let's refresh this HTML, and this is on the desktop, so you probably will not see it on Netlify, which is the version of Stratellurian you're able to play until that HTML is updated on that app, right? It doesn't do that. It is not done automatically like the Lovable app. So there's another step in the process. So let's press this through, start our game over, and we can see we're gonna press our volume in the upper right corner. And as you can see, our runner is running and the buildings are moving in the background. Our building blocks are moving in the background. And that's what we want some constant movement there. Oh, it's giving me, let's say I'm wasting time by not making decisions. All right, so all right, and then so you can jump and before, like say, um, yeah, so I think it's supposed to add money. Oh, that pretty went fast. Hmm, hmm, Let's see if the budget actually changes. Let's see. Okay, the days are going through the phases pretty fast now. It's going through the phases pretty fast now. Okay, so and the days are going pretty fast too. Like 80 days for, and then the days start over. So yeah. And the next phase will address the points, days, and the budgets. We have a prompt for that to correct that because I see it's just it's connected to the runner. So as the runner moves, it keeps the days keep moving. So yeah. Okay. But I got the movement though on it. It is no longer stuck in slow mode. It's moving now. Everything's moving. Okay, so um that fixes that problem. And I'm hitting the space bar on that to make it jump. Uh, okay. Okay. All right, so that's working. That's Stratellurian.